This is Mac OS Ken.
Headset chatter continues, the problem of iPhone theft, and one kid airdrops himself to juvie. It is Monday, the 27th of February, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Collide has some big news. If you're an Okta user, they can get your entire fleet to 100% compliance. How? Well, if a device isn't compliant, the user can't log into your cloud apps until they have fixed the problem. It's that simple. See, without Collide, IT struggles to solve basic problems like keeping everybody's OS and browser up to date. The moment Collide's agent detects a problem, it alerts the user and gives them instructions to fix it. If they don't fix the problem within a set amount of time, they're blocked. Collide is the only device trust solution that enforces compliance as part of authentication, and it is built to work seamlessly with Okta. Collide's method means fewer support tickets, less frustration, and most importantly, 100% fleet compliance. Unsecured devices are logging into your company's apps. Put a stop to that with Collide. Visit collide.com/macOSKen to learn more or book a demo. That's KOLIDE.com/macOSKen. Collide.com/macOSKen. I can no longer remember where various rumors around Apple's anticipated mixed reality headset began. Some thoughts around it are just sort of being taken for granted these days, like the new headsets coming out in 2024 or 2025, after the one Apple watchers are expecting sometime this year. Last week, Nikkei Asia ran a report saying that development of the mixed reality headset expected this year had shifted or was shifting from Pegatron to Luxshare, with Foxconn being brought in on the second round of headsets expected in a year or two. That report got support Friday when TF International analyst Ming-Chi Kuo said the same things. Ish. Posting to Medium, Young MC said the project is actually shifting from Pegatron to a company owned by both Pegatron and Luxshare, with the latter doing the heavy lifting. As for round two, that Luxshare Pegatron venture will make a high-end version, with Foxconn coming in for the more cost-conscious model. Ming-Chi Kuo has the second round units hitting in 2025. Now, for his part, the analyst seems worried on Apple's behalf. Quoting part of his post, despite repeatedly stating that Apple is optimistic about AR, why can it not make suppliers willing to continue cooperating with Apple to develop this product? In the past 2 years, why have some Apple suppliers been more willing to invest in new businesses, such as electric vehicles, than cooperate with Apple's expansion/investment? More optimistic sounding is Bloomberg's Mark Gurman. Gurman had lots to offer in this weekend's Power On newsletter, starting with what the headset will need to pair with. Nothing. While users will be able to transfer info and data from an iPhone or iPad, nothing but the headset will be required, according to the report. Text input is said to be virtual. Quoting Gurman, in-air typing is available on the latest internal prototypes, I'm told, but it's been finicky in testing. The hope within Apple is to make rapid improvements after the device is released. The plan is still for the device to be announced at WWDC, with release coming later this year. Gurman has also heard talk of a second round of devices coming in 2024 or 2025. Similar to Ming-Chi Kuo's assertion, it'll be one high-end model and one with lower specs at a lower price, according to Gurman. The Wall Street Journal's Joanna Stern has done a piece on an iPhone problem that's kind of an iPhone problem, though it's maybe more of a public safety thing. 9 to 5 Mac writes up the report, which has Stern warning of bad people watching for public use of passcodes on iPhones, then stealing those iPhones, then stealing from the phone's owner through the iPhone. Instead of just looking to snatch devices, the piece says the miscreants are watching for passcodes so they can immediately get into iPhones, change Apple ID passwords, access financial accounts, and more. One person with whom Stern spoke had that happen. 3 minutes after her iPhone was taken, the thieves had changed the password on her Apple ID. That done, they stole thousands of dollars through Apple Pay and opened an Apple Card to make fraudulent charges. You see what I mean, right? I mean, it is kind of an iPhone problem. We all, good guys and bad guys, know how iPhones work. We know what to look for. The things that make the Apple ecosystem great for users can also lead to serious problems for users if bad guys get access. 9 to 5 Mac says there are 3 things Stern would like to see Apple do to stymie the bad guys: add further protection to iOS to change an Apple ID password, add stronger password protection for iCloud Keychain, and add more account recovery options. That said, there is plenty that people can do to protect themselves. 4 steps suggested by 9 to 5 Mac include: when in public, use Face ID or Touch ID as much as you can. If you have to enter a passcode in public, cover your screen so nobody else can see it. Drop the 4-digit or 6-digit passcode for a custom alphanumeric passcode. And take sensitive account passwords out of iCloud Keychain, or use a third-party password manager that is not opened by your iPhone's passcode. Not surprisingly, the Cupertino company treads sort of a fine line on this issue. Responding to Stern, an Apple spokesperson said, "We sympathize with users who have had this experience, and we take all attacks on our users very seriously, no matter how rare. The thefts described are uncommon and require multiple physical steps. Stealing a user's device is not enough. We will continue to advance the protections to help keep user accounts secure." And now, a story with many, many bad ideas. According to a piece from 9 to 5 Mac, a kid on a plane that was meant to go from Texas to Pennsylvania ended up causing that plane to be grounded. This he did by sharing threatening messages through AirDrop. Well, the messages weren't threatening, but the name on his iPhone was. According to the piece, the kid changed his iPhone name to "I Have a Bomb," which I think is a bad idea. Then as the plane was taxiing to the runway, the piece says he initiated an AirDrop photo share with other passengers who got the message, "I have a bomb, would like to share a photo." That was either bad idea number 2 or 3. The thing is, Apple changed the way AirDrop works in iOS 16.2. Used to be you could leave AirDrop open to everyone all the time. That changed with the release of iOS 16.2. Once that hit, iPhone users could only leave AirDrop open to everyone for 10 minutes at a time. They could and can leave it open to people in their contacts all the time, and of course, they can leave AirTag open to nobody. So the other bad idea in this story, number 2 or 3, you decide, was or is not updating the device's software on the regular. I understand not updating on the first day. Updates can be slow on release days because lots of people update then. Additionally, an update might have unintended consequences. But the people who got the "I have a bomb" message haven't updated since who knows when. Sometime before last October, to be certain. That has left them open not only to this idiot kid, but also various security vulnerabilities and exploits that Apple has since patched. The worst idea was really the kids, though. According to the piece, after the message was sent, the plane was immediately pulled off the runway and back to a gate where a bomb squad searched passengers and cargo for explosives. The FBI determined that there was no known credible threat following the search. And what happened to that little rascal who started it all? Yeah, he's in the pokey. He ended up in juvenile detention in El Paso County awaiting charges for false alarm or report. Bad idea, kid. Bad idea. More news in a moment, but first a word from today's sponsor, BetterHelp Online Therapy. Therapy can be tough. Figuring out why we do what we do, sure, it can be rewarding, but it's not always fun. It's all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, which, let's be honest, can be scary. Therapy can be tough. Finding a therapist should not be, and it's not with BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are, literally and figuratively. I say literally wherever you are because BetterHelp is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. If they turn out not to be the right match for you, you can switch therapists anytime at no additional charge. Had that happen to me once with BetterHelp. Had a therapist with whom I did not gel. Switching to a better fit for me was quick and easy. If you are thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/macOSKen today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/macOSKen. BetterHelp.com/macOSKen. Talk of future headsets wasn't all Bloomberg's Mark Gurman head in store over the weekend. The Power On newsletter also had word of changes for Apple retail employees, reportedly made to address employee concerns about pay, benefits, and working hours. The piece says changes coming include a maximum of 5 consecutive work days, down from the prior limit of 6, more weekend time off for part-time employees, and a consistent weekend work day or day off for full-time employees. And for some, this may mean no change. Gurman says select stores saw these changes as long ago as last June as the company tested them out. Testing done, the changes are reportedly set to go into effect for Apple's roughly 300 stores in the US and Canada at the end of April. Though theoretically addressing concerns, the changes do raise concerns of their own for some. Among them, retail workers have to ask for time off 4 weeks in advance now rather than about 3, and part-timers will be required to take weekend work. No such requirement existed before, according to the report. Additionally, Gurman says some part-time employees are being asked to work more hours these days than used to be required. If these changes don't start until the end of April, though, it's hard to see whether the extra hours are part of any planned shift. Apple has reportedly hired a new ad exec. The Verge cites a report from The Information that says the Cupertino company has hired advertising veteran Lauren Fry to help build a video advertising business for its Apple TV Plus streaming service. That Apple TV Plus would be Fry's focus makes sense. Another piece on the hire from Engadget says she brings experience from digital advertising firm Simul Media, as well as time spent in ad sales positions at AT&T and Comcast. Then again, an ad-supported tier for Apple TV Plus feels weird. Not that Apple's not into ads. They're selling ads for Major League Soccer Season Pass. The company added more ad placements in the App Store last year, and, as The Verge points out, the company is said to want to slot ads into apps like Maps, Books, and Podcasts. Still feels weird, despite ad-supported tiers for HBO Max, Disney Plus, and Netflix. So let's say it just feels weird for Apple TV Plus. No comment from Apple for the piece from The Verge. And finally today, award season is in full swing, and one Apple TV Plus title picked up a few over the weekend. Apple Insider says the Cupertino streamer's holiday offering, The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and The Horse, received 4 Annie Awards Saturday, which is neat. One award for each of the title characters. Hand-drawn and pretty magical, Apple TV Plus released the animated story on the 25th of December. The Annie Awards honor animation, making the wins make sense. The awards won by The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and The Horse included Best Editorial, TV/Media, Best Special Production, Best Character Animation, TV/Media, and Best Direction, TV/Media. This was not Apple's first turn at these awards. Apple Insider says the Cupertino streamer took home 5 Annie Awards in 2021 for the animated feature Wolfwalkers. The bigger award show of the weekend was the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Held Sunday night, actors in Apple TV Plus titles including Blackbird and Severance were up for a few. Unfortunately, none of the Cupertino players walked away with a trophy, which I will choose to call a saggy. Today on the Mac Observer's Daily Observations podcast, thieves are stealing iPhones, punching in passcodes, and ruining people's lives. Is it an iPhone problem or a people problem? TMO Managing Editor Jeff Butts joins me to sift through that, plus the first weekend of MLS on Apple TV, and that dopey kid who airdropped himself into custody. That is all today on the Daily Observations podcast from the Mac Observer, online at macobserver.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Collide, endpoint security powered by people. Learn more and book a demo today at collide.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by BetterHelp, online therapy. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.